We are live.
Okay, welcome everyone. And for those at home, thank you for joining us tonight. I'd like to call a meeting to order at Thursday, May 28th, 2026 at 6 o'clock.
Oh, we don't need an all in favor for that one. We're good.
Indigenous land acknowledgement. I'd like to call on Councillor Stefanic to read that for us tonight.
Thank you, Chair. The Council Corporation Township of Hornepayne would like to begin by respectfully acknowledging the land on which we gather here today is Treaty 9, 1905 to 1906 territory, the traditional lands of Indigenous peoples. As we work towards reconciliation, may we all live with respect on this land and live in peace and friendship with all its diverse peoples. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. Review and note any changes to the agenda. Addition of item number 6.1, a verbal report, Third Avenue Reconstruction Project update. Mitchell Siciliano.
Yep.
Close enough. North Rock Engineering. The approval of the agenda. Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Peter, second by Belinda. Be it resolved, the council does hereby approve the agenda as presented. All in favor? Carried. Declaration of pecuniary interest, declaration of conflict of interest. I did not receive any. You guys can declare it at any time throughout the meeting. Deputations, presentations, tender awards, and open discussions. A verbal report, number 6.1, North Rock Engineering Inc. Floor is yours.
All right, so I'm Mitch from North Rock Engineering. We were retained for the full construction of 3rd Avenue from Old Land and Forest Road to Front Street due to the deteriorating condition of existing water main infrastructure, increasing water main breaks and curb stop failures. The purpose of me being in this meeting today is that during our inspection from basically the post office westward to Old Land and Forest Road, we were just verifying some legal property boundaries and found that the existing plans that we made our design off of, which were from 1948, don't actually match up with where our roadway is going. So our design as it stands currently would actually encroach into some private property owners. And this is what we recommend is from 10+000 to 10+200 is tapering the widened roadway to basically back to existing widths from that section of roadway. So I'm not sure if there's any questions with that, but it would basically be taking off approximately 1 meter of asphalt from both the eastbound and westbound lanes. And this would save the town quite a bit of money in this sense. A memorandum was passed on, but between asphalt, granular A, B, geodetic ditching, topsoil and seed, we just did a rough estimate of savings, which is approximately $85,000.
Thank you, Mitch. Anybody have any questions?
If we were to go in on, because I didn't hear word of that, and I didn't think it was true, but if you were to go on people's property, you'd have to go through, get individual written permission from everybody, I would imagine. It's quite the ordeal, I would imagine, eh?
Yeah, so it's not necessarily the sense that this design would stay like that. Like everything just shifts over. So we found the new property bars on the west side, and they are basically 2.4 meters shifted to the north. So I mean, just in the drawings, it's more to the south where we're encroaching, and then to the north we're not encroaching as much. But there is a big bedrock knoll, so if we wanted to stay with the widths that we proposed, it would probably be quite a bit more expensive in the sense that there is bedrock removal, and just getting those grades to work, because there is that big, I'm sure you're all familiar with it, there's the big hill on the right side, and then it just kind of falls down pretty quickly. So a lot more excavation, et cetera.
Any other questions? There you go.
Yeah, I have a few actually. So you're saying take 1 meter off from the east and 1 meter further west, so you got 2 meters less from the roadway. Is that
From
correct?
the widened original design. So it'd basically just be matching what's existing there. We'll go from the full design with like the widened sense all the way up to the post office.
Okay,
And then it'll just be a smooth transition somewhere after the post office to like basically look like existing platform widths.
okay, what's the next question? How transition is gonna be smooth?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks. So I have a question, just to clarify it, I think, yeah, Trigo asked this questions. So across the street, on the south side of the street from the post office, people are gonna be able to walk up the walkway with the full thing, cross the road right into the post office, and then kind of curves in?
yeah, we can definitely, if that's something, I mean, I can't really say what the design's gonna look like exactly because I don't have it in front of me, but I believe the 10 plus, I believe the post office is at
What's 200?
10 plus 200. So
Okay,
we could make, I'm sure the post office is probably where you want at least get just past that.
yeah, like
So then,
people,
because a lot of people walk to the post office.
yeah,
I believe that's doable.
okay. I just wanna make sure, cause if people are on the south side and they wanna walk on the widened part of the road and then cross,
Yeah,
so that's all. Thank you. Go ahead, Peter.
Basically, it's gonna be affected from, right directly north of the, or directly south of the, post office, so basically where Danny Ward's house was. So yeah, you'd still have the full width all the way up there, that would work perfect,
Yeah.
Excellent.
and it would, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. Do you have any further questions? Oh,
Would you like us just to read out the recommendation so there's a better understanding of what it is?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so North Rock Engineering is proposing a redesign of the existing drawings by narrowing the intersection beginning at station 10200 Ecomedina Avenue, which I believe that's the intersection where the post office is,
Mhm.
and continuing the roadway taper toward the project limit at station 100, which is where the original end of the project was. The proposed works include the removal of approximately 1 meter of asphalt from both the eastbound and westbound lanes along the existing road edge. The reclaimed area is to be reinstated with granular material. The adjustment will also facilitate removal of excess granular A and B materials within the subgrade and subsurface layers, approaching the ditch lines on both sides of the roadway, improving overall grading conformity and better aligning the roadway within the available right-of-way constraints. So I think that's the recommendation.
Okay, thanks.
So I think what we need is a resolution, which Jennifer is preparing, just accepting North Rock's recommendation so that the project can continue. Correct? That's what you're looking
yeah,
for.
and
from us
it will
this
be
evening?
super quick. I know the move usually advances at like 10, 12 meters of water main and sanitary a day. So they'll get it sometime next week before they even get to that station. Not that it would even hold them up anyways, because the water main and sanitary remain the same. It's just literally gonna be the top platform width, so there should be no holdups or anything like that.
Okay. And the next council meeting is June 11th. I believe, yes. And do you think they would be at that point by June 11th?
I believe their schedule, they said 20 days of underground and 10 days of paving. That's what he said verbally, but then their schedule shows,
On today's May
July.
20th. So would it be possible to bring the new drawings to the next council meeting on June 11th? To show council?
definitely.
Okay, or at least provide them to me.
Well, at least I'll try,
Yeah.
I'll give the date to them,
To Kevin?
yeah, cause I'll be here, so
Yeah.
I won't be doing the drawings, but I'm sure, like, it seems like a pretty quick fix. It's just the top platform width and then all their geodetic ditching will turn to like ditch cleanouts and
Yeah, so if we could have it the Thursday prior to June 11th, if you'd like to make that note, I can make sure that the drawings are included for council to see at the June 11th meeting.
For sure.
Thank you. But I think you have an approval. Go ahead and do the drawings.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
I think, but you need to vote.
Oh,
Do we want to vote on it?
I need to finish
Jennifer's
writing
doing
it.
the
Oh, we have to-
resolution.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, on the second page, number 5, so that's the savings, the value of the savings, at 85,000.
Yep.
That's a big amount. Huge amount, eh?
This is a public report. You can state the amount publicly so the public can hear.
Yep. I'll put at an estimated cost, or at an estimated cost savings of.
Yep.
So while we wait for Jen, is proposed deadline is gonna be met
For the construction?
for the final product?
Yeah, I feel like, they'll be going pretty quick here. I think they'll honestly finish earlier than expected because
Oh,
the bedrock, kind of goes up as you go west, so unless they hit the bedrock and that slows them down a bit, it's been a lot shallower as they move west, so.
well, that's good to hear.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Remember as a kid, when they first put the water line in, it was all blasted, it looked like, tunnels and lots of rock.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like a lot of rock is left
you
too.
make a note, Jen?
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Do you want me to put the exact amount or just put approximately like 85,950?
Just for the approximate, I think.
Approximate. You can just round it.
Yeah, but they're taking some off, so subtract $7,000 from that.
Sorry, that's more math than I can do. And well, can you subtract
Just
7,000?
say 80,
It's just,
just say 80.
just put 70, yeah, 79.
All right, thank you. Can you read this over, Noah? Not the top one.
And 100, not 1,000, 10 to 0, 0, 0. 10, 0, 0, 0, right?
That's the start, yeah.
It's the end.
210 plus 200.
Yeah, 10 plus 200 to the project limit of station 10 plus 0, 0, 0.
Oh. My bad.
Good. I'm glad I read it.
Okay, if you'd like to put a mover in a second, I can read it out.
Yeah, and I have a mover and a seconder. Read the, moved by Peter, second by Linda.
Be it resolved that council approves the redesign of a section of road from station 10 plus 200 Echo Medina Ave to the project limit at station 10 plus 000 for the Third Avenue reconstruction project at a cost savings of approximately $79,000 as recommended by North Rock Engineering Inc.
All in favor? Motion carried. Hey, thank you, Mitch. You're welcome to stay if you,
I'm all right.
no?
Thank you very much.
No
What you
problem.
missing?
Have a
Not
good
a lot.
evening.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Nice to talk to you. Nice to meet you. Again.
Okay, if we can move on, number 7, correspondence, information only. Can I have a mover and a seconder for moved by Belinda, second by Drago? Did everybody have a chance to read?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll
Go
just,
ahead.
Yeah.
you have a question?
I have an update, actually. The 2+1 highway has started north of North Bay last week. And we'll go for 11 kilometers. It's a start.
Start.
Remind me again, Drew, that was, so you got 2 lanes, basically, you're just adding a lane and then for so long it's gonna be.
100%.
Switch, like a
Cut the
passing lane,
passing
they
lane.
switch back and forth, eh?
No, one lane goes for about 3 or 4 kilometers, it'll be double lane. Going
Right.
east or going south.
Passing lanes.
Then going north would be another, whatever they choose, it'll be 2 lanes that you. So it's certainly improved
That's the start, that's good.
when you pass tractor trailers. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Drago, sorry, I just want to comment to clarify. So it's basically 3 lanes all the way up
For 11 kilometers, they say.
for 11 kilometers. So the only division would be a painted line on the road?
No,
Okay.
so the proposal was to have a median in between, and you would have, say, southbound 2 kilometers for 2 kilometers, then it would go to 1 kilometer for 2 kilometers, and, 2 lanes, sorry,
Okay.
2 lanes for 2 kilometers, and then 1 lane for 2 kilometers, and then 2 lanes for
Yeah.
2 kilometers, and the opposite side would be the same, but so it's only using up 3 lanes.
Yeah.
So if you had 2 lanes on the southbound, you would have 1 on the northbound, so that the 2 and the 1 would
Yeah.
always be opposite
Passing
each
lanes
other.
leapfrogging each other, I think it's great.
Yeah,
Well, what is
yeah.
that median made of?
I don't know.
You
I
know,
hope they don't put a big cement wall up.
Yeah, I hope not too. I hope it's just
That might
a
not fire
natural
too well.
barrier, like maybe a
Okay.
ditch, like a shallow ditch or.
they had that in Germany 20 years ago.
Mhm.
It's an old technology. Nothing
Old
rocket
European
science.
technology, yeah.
In Germany, because they have lack of land.
Yeah. But there's also all those problems with animals crossing. So,
True.
Well, in southern Ontario, they have fences for snakes, so maybe we can have fences for
Yeah.
moose.
Very true.
well,
You can steal it from
discussion
there.
for another day, I imagine.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Okay,
I have.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, may I speak to 7.3, the NWMO framework?
Mhm.
Yes, of course.
So I had a conversation with Tim Weber earlier this week, who is NWMO. He helped us through the last process. This is not talking about the current process. This report that Mayor Fort pointed to is from the previous process and just recommendations going forward. So regardless, Tim Weber wanted us to really focus on where the next process could go and what we've learned from the last one. So the notion of he's proposing a workshop to just review the process with us regarding the second repository, and if that would be something we would be interested in doing or going forward. So it's just asking that we get prepared to get our mindset to the notion of a workshop regarding the process for the next repository. And we're proposing that workshop be on July the 8th. The Legion is available. So I'm asking council for a public meeting date to have a public consultation of July 8th. And that gives enough time to report back for the July 11th or 16th meeting, sorry.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify because later on you have a report talking about the waste resource, which
Yeah.
is also July 8th, so
Yes.
this would be in tandem.
Yes.
Okay.
One would be 5:30 to like 5 to 7, the other would be 7:30 to 9:30, or give you a half-hour break in between, and I'll make sure that there's some wraps there or something
Yeah, I like that.
for council that the Legion ladies prepare that you can stack on in that half-hour break.
What the date again?
July the 8th.
Like, this is like a all day or no?
No, it would start at probably about 5:30, 5:30, so 5 to 7 or 5:30 to 7:30, and then half-hour break, and then the other presentation or the other public consult. So, which we'll talk about later this evening. So they're both on the same night, two different sets of people, and early enough in July that we would be able to bring a report back to the council meeting on July 16th, if needed.
That sounds good to me. I think we need to hear them anyways, right?
Yes.
Be fair. Any other questions regarding the correspondence? No? Okay, be it resolved that council does hereby acknowledge receipt of the correspondence information only package attached to the agenda of the regular meeting of council held Thursday, May 28, 2006. All in favor? Carried. Committee board updates, committee and board updates. We'll go around the table. Drago?
Deputy Mayor, there's a couple of items before the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I usually do that, okay? I tell every time.
Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Peter, second by Belinda. Okay, be it resolved that council does hereby acknowledge receipt. Okay. Okay, yeah, sorry. Be it resolved, the council does hereby acknowledge receipt of the committee and board meetings attached to the agenda of the regular meeting of council held on Thursday, May 28, 2026. Hornepayne Housing Corporation. Oh,
That's the only step.
any discussion on the board meeting minutes?
I do, Chair.
Okay, go ahead.
Under item 6.1, so Council Belinda's here. So you're gonna have a housing needs and demand study? Is that gonna be a reality? I see just a proposal. 6.1.
6.1. I think we're supposed to be having something.
I thought it was a good idea. That's what he's gonna ask.
Can you help me on that?
Yes, through the chair, I can speak
Yes.
to that. So I attend all of the HHC board meetings just so I can keep council informed.
Okay.
So as part of their budget, their chief executive officer has proposed that HHC does the demand study, the housing needs and demand study, rather than hiring an external consultant.
Mhm.
So at a lower cost to us than what we would pay an external consultant. So once she has a proposal that she can forward to council, then we can discuss it at that point. But I also think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's what I asked.
Thank you for the question.
I guess the other thing to add to that 6.2, we do have the property now, and we are going to, we should be seeing tenders on cleaning it up and stuff, so pay attention, please.
Ground.
The 50 Queen.
Yeah,
I think they've already started cleaning it up.
yeah.
But it's gone through, everything's gone through. It's
Yeah.
there. So Yeah.
Should see some action.
Okay, any further discussion on the HHC board meeting? Then being none, we'll move on to 8.2, Councillor Stefanic's 2026 Federation of Northern Ontario Municipalities Conference.
Thank you, Chair. I'll be very brief. I hope everybody had a chance to read my report. It was thorough. I just gave you key takeaways, the key comments made by presenters. I had about 25 pages of information. I narrowed it down to this. Highlight what Jennifer Constant, the Chief of Matawag First Nation, spoke very well. And she says paramount to have reconciliation before anything happens because it'll make Ontario a stronger province. quite adamant. Keynote speaker Jamie Campbell, he's the baseball guy from Blue Jays, I'm sorry. Kindness and life compassion. He said he's missing, that's missing a lot in people's daily lives, and I agreed. Impact, I spoke to them personally. The province has not set the date for reassessment. However, they're continually evaluating the performance, the whole charts, so they're working on it, so they're waiting for that to go. The Now people, that's the Northern Ontario women. Basically, we had a synopsis of what happened, Michelle below, and they're allowing men to join now. That was a
Yeah.
$25 a pop. NWMO, the key thing that was stated by them after everything's said and done for transportation, category 7 type B packages designed not to fail. If you remember, the spaceship went to the moon and failed. But they said designed not to fail, so I'll leave it at that. Role of recreation, we always talk about recreation facility. Excellent presentation, was about 45 minutes long. Yes, there's cost to arenas, curling club, parks, but the gentleman spoke, said preventive cost, less prevention than intervention. Meaning if you have facilities, it will eliminate a lot of possible social problems. And I agree with that as well. Intact public entities, this was a new one to me. We should have a special event policy. A lot of municipalities have it. I never had one this year. It's really crucial because and you have forms in there to, if you have any problem, challenge, it has to be recorded.
We do have one, so we're good there.
Okay. If you get a copy, I appreciate it. Element 5, this is you, Councillor Belinda. Startup housing and sustainable housing. They're into now mass timbers, 10 feet by 45 feet panels. From drawing to construction and only 12 months.
We have been working with Element 5.
Okay.
And we have sent them lumber and all that. If we are achieving what they need from us, I'm not too sure about, but I know we are working.
Great. They're looking at large panels, that's why construction, 50% less time to build structures, especially LTC, long-term care homes. I also left with Jennifer, the clerk, Gate Mallet, petition to House of Commons. I didn't realize that the federal government does not put one dime in province of Ontario highways. I did not know that. Now I know. So there's a petition. There's also provide envelopes. There's no cost. I would encourage the staff to promote that on the website, and you sign it and just put an envelope and send, because he's pushing it really strong, that because the province can't cover everything. I understand that. So taxpayers' money in the bottom line. The ministers, George Perry said, this is interesting. Forestry sector will not only survive, but will thrive. That's why, so this is a document that I'll keep for a long time. He said that.
Well, I hope he knows something that the rest of us don't.
Rob Black, he said every time Premier Ford hears about Northern Ontario, he's gets excited. Leave it at that. Potential grants, IESO, Save on Energy programs, Hydro One. There's applications open in June 2026. I spoke to them as well. Ontario Power Generation grants 4 pillars of funding. And the new grant, ROD, it's opening, launching in August. Rural Development Ontario Program. And the highlight was the Wednesday 1 to 4 with Minister Lisa Thompson, Rural Affairs. It was great. I said earlier, I sat with first Matthias Valcote of Pasatica. That was our working group. She went around, sat by our table. It was about, I don't know, 450 people. And we had a secretary that recorded all the concerns, ideas, thoughts. And that was shared with the minister right there. And the minister taken all the notes, and she said she will follow up to different municipalities that were in attendance. So we'll see what happens. But that was the best engagement by minister in the last 12 years.
Hmm.
She was personable and she was hands-on.
Yeah.
So that was exciting.
I wrote down her name when I saw that.
Yeah. But that's in a nutshell. Thank you, Chair.
Hey, thank you, Greg. Did we,
We don't have the grants update.
not for this one? Did I close the other one? Maybe the last
Yes.
one?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Now a mover and a seconder, please, to accept. Councillor Drago and Councillor Belinda. Be resolved that council receives a report from Councillor Stefanic, respecting highlights and key takeaways from the 2026 Federation of Northern Ontario Municipalities Conference for information. All approved? Be carried. Next, we have council committee updates.
I just want to remind everyone, I brought up last week about the audit that we're having for the independent forest audit for Nagogny Forest, that I have seen the information on Facebook, on the internet, to look at it and see like what it's all about and put in your comments. Because we used to have, my thing is we used to have meetings at the Legion, and we don't have those anymore. So this is an opportunity to speak up and say we'd like those things to come back. And they are looking for input from the community, and I sure hope people do put in things. So anyway, that's all I wanted to do, is remind everybody.
So Belinda, sorry,
No, no,
I just follow up. So Belinda, with the local citizens committee, can those interested go and to talk to them about it and they
They-
can bring it forward?
They probably will be asking us. Asking for input from the LCC,
Okay, thank you.
okay?
Drago, you had a question?
yeah, just follow. Could that be put on the township website? The contact, more exposure, Councillor? This way, more people will see it.
Yeah.
'Cause
I'm not too sure if anybody's contacted the town yet, but I will let Manuela know all.
I don't even think of that, I think that's crucial. That's, we got key contact, so if people see it, hopefully we'll follow up.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Any other committee updates, Peter?
I got nothing off there.
Okay, thanks. I don't have, nothing happened to me this week anyways. Oh, Drago?
Yeah, at a library board meeting, May 21st. The highlights is annual report 2025, which will be presented to council next meeting. The highlight was, we had 450 participants signed up, actual names that belong to the library. And yes, the attendance was 2,065, but turns out, whoever, it could be 3 times a day, but 415. That's highly respectable compared to a few years ago. It was only around about 280, 300.
What was the time frame for that? Grego?
That's a whole year for 2025.
It was 2,000 participants or that.
415 people members,
Mhm.
and 2,065 went through the doors at the library.
Okay.
Highly respected.
Yeah.
Also, Darnell is working on August 14th, a Science North display exhibit will be in town. This is new for us, so she'll be promoting it soon. And the public awareness day went well, due to Darnell and Katie. It worked out well. And the next meeting for in-person library, June 18th. I was at the public awareness day. I spoke to Stephen DeFore, FCIPP, and he was very happy with the contacts he made. That's what he tells me. So it was real positive. And I have a meeting for that as well in June 11th. That is all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Jennifer's just looking something up for me here. Okay. While we're on council committee updates, what I'd like to just say is that in place of the mayor tomorrow, we're having a safety day event up at the arena with all the kids. Looking forward to it. I will be there. I think it begins at 10 to say a few words. I think it's pretty exciting for the kids.
Sure.
That's great. It's good to see that we have that. Well,
Great.
okay, if that's it, can I have a mover and seconder?
Don't need one for this.
Oh, we don't need one, sorry. New and other business, library and fitness center project by the
Do you want
CAO.
me to speak to it before you ask our mover and seconder?
Yes,
Perhaps a good idea. I don't know who's had a chance to read it, but I should probably go through it in some detail. So the recommendation, I'll just read through the recommendation. The council received this report for information that council approved pursuant to section 8.1.1 of the procurement bylaw, non-standard procurement process for project management and owner's representative services for the library and fitness center expansion project. That council approved the sole source engagement of 2B developments to provide project management and owner representative services for the library and fitness center expansion. That council approved a total upset limit of 110,000 plus HST for the engagement, consisting of phase 1 up to 50,000 plus HST, phase 2 up to 60,000 plus HST, and that council authorized the deputy mayor and the CAO to finalize and execute the agreement with 2B Development Consultants and Associates, Inc. Staff are seeking council approval, so we're seeking council approval for a non-standard procurement and sole source engagement of 2B Development Consultants to provide project management and owner's representative services to the township's library and fitness center expansion. The recommendation is being brought forward because the project is now urgent and time sensitive, with a deadline of March 2027. The township has already completed a competitive procurement process. We've already gone through that process. We hired a firm. They've done several sets of drawings. We've gone through the RFP process. The RFPs were all $4.4 million or more, which was way beyond our budget, if you remember, a couple of meetings ago. So however, the report says, however, the bids received were substantially above what the budget can afford. Although the project has external funding support, the municipal share associated with the bids is too expensive for the township. So where we sit today, we can't pay for that. The project is also subject to funding requirement for substantial completion. Sorry, by March 2027. Staff have been advised that remaining with the current approach could require approximately 11 weeks to get to the point where a new RFP could be issued. Then that RFP has to be out in public for a couple of weeks, then has to be evaluated and then awarded. And so then we're looking at probably 13 to 14 weeks. And then they're mobilizing for the winter, which we're not pouring cement here in the winter. Staff are therefore recommending that council approve a one-time exception under section 8.1.1 of the procurement bylaw to authorize staff to engage with 2B developments to immediately assist with redesign coordination, permit readiness, procurement support, and product delivery. So the intent is for a new redesign for a standalone building or a substantially standalone building. So it may be abutted up to the current arena, but not in the same way that this one was. There would be no HVAC units. There'd be a different heating unit. There would be different options for electricity. Heating would not be in the form of HVAC. We'd most likely be looking at heat pumps and for our cold winters, the heat being subsidized with baseboard heaters, and we'd be looking for solar grants to subsidize that electric consumption for the baseboard heaters. So can't promise the solar that we'd get the solar grants, but we would definitely try to minimize those baseboard heating costs, but they would probably most likely just occur in January and February. they could still warm enough in December and March that we could use just the heat pumps. There is also so it is really a complete redesign from what's there now. We would use the existing bathrooms, most likely. I think this is my recommendation to council in order to reduce costs, is to look at, can we use existing bathrooms if it meets the number of bathrooms that we need to have by code, not in the condition that they're in today, but in a renovated state. So we would have new toilets, new fixtures, new sinks, a shower stall both for the women's and the men's, and make sure that they were accessible, so that they would be used by the arena, by the fitness facility, and by the library. There would be a hallway running along the length of the current arena that would provide access either into the arena or into the fitness center, into the library. So that would be how it would have, and there would still be a slanted or sloped roof, not a flat roof, with very good snow breaks for our winters. And it would be encouraged to use the interior entrances rather than the exterior entrances in the winter in order to save on heating costs. I would also encourage at council make the slab bigger than necessary, and budget allowing, to enclose it with screening, so that it's a space that could be used outdoors in the summertime without having to worry about mosquitoes, black flies. That would extend your library, because you could put some couches out there and have a reading space or an activity space for kids. And you would still have your driveways and your roadways and your access for the fire trucks and turnarounds. So that's pretty much what I have in my head. So, and we've got to get it out of my head and onto paper. So that's what this is doing. It's asking for council to allow me to go ahead and terminate our relationship with our current engineer and to engage B2 development, 2B development, pardon me. So 2B development is working with Hornepayne Housing Corporation. We've met with them last year at the AMO in Ottawa. They've been doing all the work on obtaining grants for HHC and helping them move forward the whole housing initiative here. So we do have some history with them and some confidence. So.
Okay, go ahead, Peter.
Thank you. Just so straight though, will the shovels be going in the ground before the snow hits? Cause if we can do the journey through as long as we can do if it's closed in, just going into the next term, whoever the council is, all the best thoughts and the hopes in the world and all that street's been paved with gold with all the promises we've been making to our people.
So
We're
September.
gonna get as long as I see the shell up and we're working on the inside through the winter, people would say, yes, we're doing it.
September 1st
That's
to
what we need.
15th is the date that we'd like to pour the slab.
Excellent. Thank you. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Good.
If I remember correctly, was that the, yes. I just referring to the staff because was I pushing for that, or was that the date that was given to me? I was pushing for, that was the.
First, she had said October.
And then the 15th.
And just
So-
for a point of reference, and Kissimegger, the building my father had built, was proposed and was scheduled for September. And it was after Christmas and 40 below, but they had the pad poured before then and the garage was built. And then next year we were using it. So if people aren't paying, and like the curlers will say, hey, you're gonna get your club back and the weights are gonna, and then people that use the library, everybody be happy. At least for 5 minutes.
Very good. Go ahead, Drago.
I concur with the CAO with the new path is being taken. Two questions. My concern is, it said upset price. That will be the maximum price. There'll be no movement above the price that we have quoted in your memorandum,
So
correct?
that's not even from us, that's covered through the grant.
I understand it, but
Yeah, yes.
I see too many projects and
So
one thing.
sorry, the build is not that amount.
No, I'm
That's
saying, but this,
So, yes, sorry, that is, I've worked with her before. She's given us, whatever price she's given us, she's never charged us more.
Okay, I just want to be.
So that, like, we have, even this township has history with her, and regardless of the amount of work or the success of the project, she has never billed us more than what she said she was going to bill us.
Because historically, it's not a good record.
Yeah, no, I can honestly
Not that
say-
group, I'm saying over last
Over
40 years.
Yeah.
Somehow things changed, well, it wasn't our change, so I just want to be very clear in that, thank
No,
you.
she was very, very, yeah,
Okay.
I'm confident with that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or? No? I think it's fantastic. I'm glad to hear it's moving fast.
Thank you for all the work you're doing for us.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
yes, thank you for
thank you. Fine.
that.
I'll have the email go out tonight with, yeah, tomorrow. So in saying that, I need to terminate the,
Yeah,
the relationship we have with our current engineer.
Concur.
okay.
Thank you.
With no further questions, can I have a mover and a seconder for section 9.1? Drago and second by Peter. Be it resolved that council received CAO report 2026-05 for information. Be it further resolved that council approves pursuant to section 8.1.1 of the procurement bylaw 2056, a non-standard procurement process for project management and owners representative services for the library and fitness center expansion. Be it further resolved that council approves the sole source engagement of 2B developments to provide project management and owners representative services for the library and fitness center expansion project. And be it further resolved that council approves a total upset limit of $110,000 plus HST for the engagement, consisting of phase 1 up to 50,000 plus HST and phase 2 up to 60,000 plus HST. Be it finally resolved that council will authorize deputy mayor and CAO to finalize and execute the agreement with 2B Development Consultants and Associates, Inc. All in favor? That'd be carried.
Thank you very much. This is me as well.
Can I have a mover and a seconder for 9.2 waste to resource project update? Moved by Peter, second by Belinda. CAO 2026-06 waste to resource project update.
So I'm just gonna read the first page. I just wanted to give council an update where, sorry, I had, says waste to resource, not waste. Sorry, so I just wanted to give you an update on where things have been going and what's been happening in the background, since you last met with the group. So the group, excluding Deputy Mayor, Karoff, pardon me for missing that prior. It met with the MP Terry Sheehan. That was a good meeting. There was some positive discussion and he made some good recommendations. We, the following day, had a meeting with MPP Bill Rosenberg. MPP Rosenberg was very, very positive. We had very positive discussion, and he has asked for copies of letters of support, both from H&G Controls and from the township, as well as presentations that he can bring forward to some of the ministries. So I'm just asking for council direction if I can go ahead and do that on behalf of the township. I have several delegation requests that I put in for AMO, which will be part of my June report. One of them was regarding this project. So I have a presentation attached to this report that I prepared to bring to AMO. I would like to send this presentation to MPP Bill Rosenberg, if that's okay with everyone. And then also the public consultation session, Jim and Zulfikar would like to come and present to the town and answer questions people have. Also on July 8th. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Manuel.
So-
Any questions? Grego, go ahead.
Yeah, number one, meeting with Sheehan. It struck me odd at the end. The outcome was not as enthusiastic as we had hoped for.
Which one?
Number one, the last sentence.
Oh, yes, they were looking for more of a commitment from MP Sheehan. And it was more direction that he gave rather than commitment. So it wasn't the outcome that they were looking
Okay,
for. The
okay.
outcome was for a commitment from the province for waste.
Right.
Like we were looking for the province to say, we will give you out of the 2 million tons of waste that we produce every year, 75,000 tons. So if the
Okay.
province would give us that commitment, but of course he can't do that just sitting there with us. But he did point us in some directions.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions? There being none, be it resolved, I'll read, be it resolved that council receives CAO report 2026-06 as information. Be it further resolved that council directs staff to book the Royal Canadian Legion Branch 194 for public information session to be held on July 8, 2026, and make any other arrangements as needed. All in favor? Carried.
We have a member in September? Yes, he got one
Yes.
for you.
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you.
Okay, we'll move to number 10, bylaws. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Peter, second by Drago. 10.1 bylaw number 2210-26. Stop up, close and sell part of a road allowance on 18 Becker Road. Did everybody have a chance to review the document and anybody want to speak to it? Yeah.
I
please.
just wanted to say, this was posted, there was the 2-week notice on the website, so there was no comments or anything received as far as I'm aware.
I received no comments or
Yeah.
or questions.
Yeah.
And you received none, so none received.
Okay. Then be it resolved that bylaw number 2210-26 being a bylaw to stop up, close and authorize the sale of part of an unopened road allowance and to authorize the transfer of lands municipally known as 18 Becker Road, Hornepayne, Ontario, to be hereby read a first and a second time and be considered read a third time and finally pass. All in favor? Carried.
Sorry, Jen, who's? Okay.
Motion and notices of motion,
None were received.
none received. The next part of our meeting, we're moving into a closed session. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Peter, second by Linda. Be it resolved that the next portion of the meeting at 6:54 be closed to the public in order to discuss personal matters of an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality, and advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. Pursuant to sections 239, 2BCF of the Municipal Act of 2001. I don't know. Do I
We're
go
gonna have to
through
read
it?
that out.
5-minute break?
All in favor?
Okay,
Oh.
all in favor? Carried.
Before we move, does council wish to have a recess before closed?
No. Okay.
No? Okay, perfect. We will be-
Yes.
Okay, we are back.
Okay, we return to open council. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Peter, second by Belinda. Be it resolved that council of the corporation of the Township of Hornepayne does hereby return to open council at 7:22 PM. All in favor? Carried. Business arising from closed session.
You want me to,
You want to read it or
did you want me to review it?
please?
6
It'll,
6.1,
no, 12. You're gonna be using open council.
oh, sorry, 12.1, will be a resolution.
12.3.
12.3, are you preparing a resolution?
Yeah, ready?
Okay, go ahead, Jen, we'll read the resolution. Or we need a mover and a
Yes,
seconder.
so.
And could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Peter, second by Belinda.
Be it resolved that council hereby appoints the following to the Township of Hornepayne's Community Development Advisory Committee, CDAC, Kelsey Moore and Johanna DeTemener.
All in favor? Carried.
12.4 was for information only, and 12.5, direction was given to the CAO to proceed with the sale of 257 First Avenue. First Street, sorry.
I need to move the second.
No, it will be brought back, as an agreement in a bylaw to a future council meeting to be formally approved.
Okay, thank you. So if there's nothing else, adjournment, I have a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Peter, second by Belinda. Bylaw number 2211-26, confirmatory. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2211-26 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at the regular meeting held on Thursday, May 28, 2026, be hereby read a first, a second time, and considered read a third time and finally passed. All in favor? Carried. Adjourn meeting. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Drago, second by Belinda. Be it resolved that council does hereby adjourn this regular meeting of council held on Thursday, May 28, 2026 at 7:25 PM. All in favor? Carried.